Hello friends, it's Nancy from Astrology and Angel Mediums today with another deck review for a deck that I've had for some time that I didn't realize I had not done a review on. So this is the Lantern Oracle by Angelina Mirabito and illustrated by Yuli Alejo. And so essentially this is a deck to help illuminate the shadows and power your path. This is from Blue Angel. And so this deck has 44 cards. They're the larger kind of, I call them like the Blue Angel size. Like Alana Fairchild's decks come in this big size. And so essentially this is meant to kind of help you connect to like the light within yourself, especially like in the darkness. So it is very feminine based. It is very much like that kind of feminine energy deck. So if it is something that you're into, this has extremely beautiful artwork. And this is very much about connecting with the mothers, the maidens, the guardians, the crones, to kind of get clarity, growth, assistance, and healing on your journey. And so I think it's a really wonderful deck. And we're going to talk about, the 144-page guidebook because it has a lot of information. So big box. And the cards are slightly smaller than the box, but still big. And nice regular box, And the guidebook, which is fantastic. I'm going to kind of just get this out of the way so it's not distracting in the background. So it's not colored, but there are illustrations in it. So just very beautiful artwork. I have used this for like dark shadow readings, things like that. I love the imagery. It is very, very feminine, very realistic, very detailed. It's beautiful, beautiful cards. It is one of these decks that I'm like, I just really love. So this is kind of broken out in Maiden, Mother. I think Guardian is the next one. Maybe. I don't know when it... Okay, so Guardian... And then we have the Crown, I believe. Comes next, Crown. And then I think there's one more phase. It's been a while since I've really looked through this book. But it just really talks about the different phases, especially as a woman. I think it's a wonderful deck to kind of add in. But I do love to use these for my shadow work readings. So there is no edges like that are done. It's not finished, which is fine. I think it would be beautiful. It had like a burgundy or even just like a black just to kind of go with the back. The back looks like a little mandala almost in some ways. But again, there is such beautiful cards. They're nice and thick. Mine are a little beat up. I have used these decks for a year. I have used this deck for years. So really beautiful artwork. If you're someone like me that just has a deep appreciation for artistry and artwork, it's beautiful. It's just really cool themes that it touches on. And while the pictures may not always be reminiscent of like the card titles, it's very nice to have that detailed imagery as well to kind of like get into and connect to. So I kind of try to get all of these, and I don't remember if this has nudity in it, so I'm going to try not to. I may just like flip through the nude images real fast, and I think it's really cool to have things like this where it's like someone that's had a mastectomy, as radical self-acceptance. They're just really beautiful cards. I love the themes that it talks about and kind of what it features. I think it's great, especially for anyone that's like on their dark feminine wavelength or whatever, or just on their feminine journey, trying to connect a little bit more to the divine feminine, maybe have a little bit more of an understanding of some of these energies and how they can kind of play out. And the reason why I love using this for a shadow work reading is that I feel like it's a beautiful way to kind of balance out some of those shadow work themes. I think a lot of us kind of struggle with connecting, and as you can tell, it's a matte finish, so it's not shiny, which is good, or else you'd see everything glaring right now. I love this imagery where it's like enough. It just has really, really beautiful artwork. The artist did a fantastic job. I'm not usually very big on like decks that have people in them, but this is a really beautiful, well done deck. And this almost reminds me of like Joan of Arc. Or just the details like this where like the mirror's broken, the egg's broken, you know, because eggs can also symbolize a lot of like feminine energy as well. Or things like this where we have like that view in the background and kind of why is she running away from that, you know? There's radical curiosity. We have renewal. These are not in order, as I, again, have been using this for a long time. We have repair. We have circles. And then we have moving forward. A really thick cardstock, which is great. We have lantern, which is a beautiful card. I'm trying to make sure I don't skip any confusion. I love this confusion card because that is kind of how it feels, right? The melting mask. And this is also a very beautiful card, the weeping wound. Just like something about it, just like, oof. Distorted perceptions. We have the inner integration, where it's like all the different selves, the spirit self. And I like that a lot of these cards have like a little like subtext as well. If you're someone that doesn't really like to use a book, it's nice to have that as well. Here we have emotional energy, key to intimacy. We have intention, which I think is a beautiful card as well. Metamorphosis. Now I'm like, I gotta go look up this artist and see if she's made other decks too, because I love her artwork in her life. And I love that it's a crone. Wisdom in play. Reminds me of like Lord of the Rings. And then false beliefs, as well as forgiveness, which is also a very beautiful card. So the reason why I wanted to review this deck is because it has been a really beautiful addition to my shadow work readings, as well as connecting a little bit more to the feminine. While it can be hard with some of these decks that I've noticed with Blue Angel, because the books have so much information, it can be kind of challenging to always understand why they chose certain themes or why certain things are the way that they are. It can feel a little bit challenging to connect to it. But what I do like about these decks is like there's a mother message, or sometimes there will be a maiden message to kind of connect to that energy a little bit more. As well as, I think there's like the Guardian's message. I think there's the Crone's message as well, where we can just kind of, you know, connect a little bit further. There's sometimes a lot of these cards will usually have a lot of questions, and I think those are great for journaling, for expanding on your like question, expanding on like what else maybe you need to consider or what else you need to enlighten for yourself. So I think it's good to utilize the guidebook as intended, you know, to kind of add to your practice and what you're doing. So again, this is information about the author and the artist. So we have a little bit of this beautiful energy to connect to. So have you ever heard of this deck? I know it's not one a lot of people use. I don't see a lot of people kind of busting it out and utilizing it. But I think it's a beautiful deck. I think it has amazing artwork in it. And I really love the messages that it talks about and how it kind of helps you focus a little bit more, especially if you are in the middle of your divine feminine journey. So if you're like me and you're looking for other decks that maybe allow you to connect a little bit more in new ways, this may be a good one to add to your collection or to kind of utilize on your journey, because sometimes it can be a little hard to kind of figure out, you know, what works and what you'll connect to. So let me know if you've ever heard of this deck, if it's a deck that you would use in your practice, and what you think about it. So have a good one. Take care. And as always, make good choices. Bye.